And then the preparations when coming to the application to become a data scientist. I know some professions, they have case studies. Some they have like, I don't know, like psychometric tests and everything like that. How is the application process within the data science space?
It varies. It varies. So in most cases, you will be given an assessment. So you'll be given assessment and say, here's an assessment. Um, um, we want you to, they can give you a data, for example. Some companies are smart, some companies are smart in terms of saying, here's the data, and they say, just tell us, they know what they want, and they expect that if you're a good data scientist, you should know that this data needs you to build a model and not just analyze the data. But some companies will specifically tell you, we want you to build a model using this data. Um, so yeah, so usually in most cases, they will give you uh, an an assessment and say, here's the data, do one, two, three. They'll give you the questions. Some they will even give you questions. So they might say, for example, what let's say it's just normal questions. What are let's say maybe you're looking at, okay, I'll just try and make it simple, just for the purpose of understanding.
Mm.
Maybe they might say, tell us what is the percentage of females that were voted for, or that are in parliament. I'm just giving you an example, that are in parliament. That's question one. When you go and analyze that data, obviously you have to do that through Python. I mean, through coding, whether you're using Python or whatever language you're comfortable with. You answer those questions, you answer those questions. After you've answered it, then they're going to need to see your code. So you need to wrap your code nicely, and then you're going to share it with your answers. So now they will see that, okay, fine, you've coded your solutions. Okay, this person, they are able to see that, okay, you know how to code. You also got the right answers, or you didn't get the right answers. Maybe you were close enough. Um, then in some cases, some interviews, they're just very technical. There's no assessment. It's just very, very technical. So they will ask you questions that are very technical. They will give you scenarios. They might say you have a data of what. How will you approach this type of problem, and so on and so forth. Um, so again, one of the purpose for the community as well is just provide some little training guideline in terms of how you can prepare yourself for jobs as well, for interviews. What are some of the things that you can expect from those interviews? That's one of the objectives of the community as well.
Alrighty. I mean, welcome back. Hey guys, it's very hot. It's very hot. Don't mind me sweating. And sorry for this interruption. I have an important announcement to make. But before I make the announcement, please make sure that you subscribe. You know, I think a lot of you are watching the channel and are not yet subscribed. When I check the analytics, it says so. So if you're watching the channel and you enjoy what we actually show on the channel, please, and a very big please, subscribe. But what I'm going to share with you now is actually, you remember actually on my other episode with Mahlatse, we spoke about, the forming a data science community. And now I'm here to tell you that actually the community is there. The community is functional. So if you're interested, please join it. So the name of the community is called the Data Sphere Africa. So I'll actually share on the description below. I'll share the links. I think there is something that is called Discord. That is the platform that we're going to be using for communication and for engagements and stuff like that. I'm told that is more used by tech people. It's more like Instagram, or I mean, not Instagram, but WhatsApp or Telegram or something like that. So I'll show the link of the Discord just now. I mean, in the description below. And please join if you actually want to be a part of this. A lot of you have said that you want to be part of this, so this is the chance. See you in the community. And also, we'll share the social media pages as well. So also follow them. when we do share so that we can actually make the community grow. See you there. I'm just thinking here about somebody who they've heard about data science, they want to do data science, but they're still
Yeah.
unsure. They're still not very sure that they want to do this. Convince them.
Convince them. Wow. Okay, that's a bit of a difficult one. Okay, so first of all, I'll say to them, if you look at the way the world is these days, you have, if you look at AI, if you go and read about AI and look at the AI products that are there, you will be shocked to see how it's actually easy to replace so many jobs. But yet, because there's a lot of layers, you have a government will set up certain policies and so on. You can't just chase people out. You can't just tell people that, oh, you no longer have a job. Your role it's redundant. We don't need people like you anymore. But if you go and Google and read about these things, you'll see that there are a lot of people, and some roles, certain number of roles are actually very redundant. They need to be, let me not say they need to be, but they can be replaced easily so, just through automation, through AI, through coding. So when ChatGPT was introduced, a lot of data scientists were saying, "Oh my God, so that means now we're gonna lose jobs even as data scientists because this thing knows how to code. ChatGPT can code for you, literally. You can actually ask ChatGPT. You give it a problem and say, "This is my problem. This is the kind of data I have. Show me a code on how I can create one, two, three." ChatGPT will actually generate a code for you, literally. But it's not 100% correct. There are cases where it's extremely wrong. The good thing about it, at least it gives you a good direction, on how you can start on your project. That's the good part about it. It can be very good at detailing. It's very good at explaining, even in layman terms. You can even tell it, explain this problem to me like I'm a 10-year-old. ChatGPT will do that for you. It's that good. You know what I mean? And that was done through data science, by the way. So fortunately, ChatGPT cannot replace people for now. It could replace us maybe in a long time from now. You know what I mean? A long time from now. So if I was to convince someone to join data science, I'd say, wouldn't you want to be in an industry where at least you wouldn't have to be too worried about your job being redundant? Too worried where people say that, bro, data science is seeping through every industry, Ben. Every single industry. I can tell you now, you have people that are CAs. Some CAs are now required to know how to code, or at least provide some sort of data visualization and reporting. And now, when you go to reporting, you don't want a situation where every month, let's say for an example, if you're doing reporting, usually some companies, they do month-end reportings. If you're doing a report every month, you don't want to go to a situation where every time you have to start from scratch. And then you write your report, a very long one. Every month you start from scratch. Every month you start from scratch. That is where data science comes in. With data science, you actually code and automate your code. That as long as I get this data, once I get the data, you've automated your code in such a way that it knows that when it receives new data of the following month, it will analyze it, plot it for you. Everything will done for you automatically. All you have to do maybe is just, if you've created a dashboard, for example, you just go and click refresh and you see the latest results of that latest month. That's it. Unlike if you are if you have to go and do everything from scratch through Excel, every month you have to start from scratch. writing a report or trying to generate those graphs from scratch. No. So data science is seeping through every single industry, and it's even seeping through people that have studied other courses, other professions. So I have a friend who's a CA. He's been asking me, how can I go into data science? And I was shocked. I was like, why do you want to go into data science? He said, hey, man, it's tough, man. There's a lot of reporting that I do there. And if I can just know data science, it'll be very easy for me to be able to automate this work. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no. Yeah, no. I think even things like I was telling the students one time, you see matrices, right?
Yes, matrices. Yeah.
And you know how tedious they are to work with, to compute, like especially if you have a very large matrix and if you're doing it by hand, um,
Oof.
it becomes very difficult to compute them. So I was telling them to say, actually, the best way to compute matrices is just to code the, I don't know, if you're doing gas elimination or you're doing gas Jordan or whatever method you're using in your computation, you can just code
Yeah.
that um, and then the code will, you just have to input any size of any matrix, put in the numbers, and the code will do the calculation for you. So,
Mm,
um, so then
yes.
I was like, you see, things like coding and stuff, you guys need to, because that's how maths is taught as well. Maths, we teach you in very small variables. Like,
Yeah.
let's say in
Oh,
high school, it will be like the Cartesian plane. The Cartesian plane is
yeah.
just actually two variables, x and y. But
Yeah.
in the real
Yes. Yes.
world, you can have
Yeah.
situations that are
Yeah.
multivariate, you know.
Yes.
So
Yes.
in that case, then the actual written computation will take you more time,
Yeah.
you know. And what you
And
now need
also
to,
the process. Like imagine if you're writing a matrix of even 50 by 50. That's when are you gonna finish that?
it's a lot.
That's a lot, man. When are you gonna finish that, man? That's a yo. How many books? I don't know if well, you can do it, yeah, in one book, but that's gonna be a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
so I was giving them the perspective because uh, they have to see it from outside the maths to say actually this is where this thing is going, and now what you have
Uh,
said, coding becomes very critical because solving real world problems mathematically, you
yes.
you can't do it by
Yes.
hand. You need something that can be able to take large data because problems are actually large data problems in most cases, you know.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. So exactly. So when you look at coding, like I just explained now, that there's a lot of repetitive work that is done in a lot of industries. Um, Even as a CA or as a doctor, data science is everywhere. In medicine, there's data science. It's everywhere. Every single way, as long as there's data, provided there's data.
Mm,
Because trust me, without data, there's no data science, there's no work. You don't have work as a data scientist if you don't have data. What are you gonna do? You know what I mean? What are you gonna
and
analyze? What are you gonna predict? Yeah.
yeah, and most probably there is money in this. I mean, you guys are fine. I mean,
You're fine.
you're more than fine. I mean, you guys are doing well, man. I mean, come on.
Well, yeah. we are fine, to be honest. We are fine. And you know what? I don't see anything wrong with talking about money. It's very important to mention that because that's the whole point of why we're working. We want to be able to make money and be comfortable. So there is money in data science. If that's what you want to ask, there is money in data science. Um, and obviously with experience then there will come more money. So as long as you're experienced, you're good at what you do, you're good at marketing yourself as well, because in life, Ben, there's two things. There's having big mouth is very important. Having big mouth meaning knowing how to market yourself and sell yourself as a brand. That is extremely important because if you look at CEOs, you look at presidents in politics. It's usually not people that are A students or whatever. No, it's usually people that just have confidence and a big mouth. That's it. That's it. Confidence and big mouth. Uh, Work ethic maybe, but work ethic can come later. You can be someone who doesn't have like the best work ethic. You're just good enough, but here you are so good that everyone, when you speak, people listen. When you speak, people, they buy your story. you know so if you have a data scientist who they don't know how to sell themselves, but they have the skills, they won't get that far in terms of getting that money that they would wish for, because they don't know how to sell themselves, um, or to be attractive to the market. You know what I mean? So personal branding is also very important. Yeah, even in the workplace. If you go in the workplace, there are people who you'll find that this person is it's not a good manager. This person, people don't like him as a manager. How did he get there? And
Yeah.
some of them, yeah, like how is it possible that this person becomes a manager, but a lot of people don't like him, or they don't like the way he does things, or maybe he's not that good technically. He's always asking a lot of questions. He's always, um maybe he's not good technically, but business point of view, the way he speaks,
Mm.
you understand? That alone, I'm telling you now, anywhere, that alone, before you even look at your work ethic, if you work on these, my guy, I'm telling you, you go far. You
Mm.
go far. Hence I'm giving you examples with politicians. You will look at your Donald Trump. You will look at your Joe Biden. Just look at Joe Biden. Oh my God.
Ash. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. And look at Malema as well. Look at Julius Malema.
Yeah.
That guy can speak, man. That guy can speak. Look at Vusi Tembakwayo.
Y- Sure.
Look at Vusi Tembakwayo. Vusi Tembakwayo, he has a team of researchers. He has said it at some point that he has a team of researchers. So they just research for him. He gives them a topic, they research for him, gets all the stats. And then when he speaks, when Vusi speaks, man, oh, people listen, dog. That guy, he sounds very, very smart. And I'm not saying he's not smart. I'm not saying he's not smart. I'm saying he's very good at speaking.
Sure.
Yeah, he has worked on that. He's worked on that. He didn't even have to do the research. The research, he has someone who's doing it for him. So you see that if you actually work on the personal brand of how you speak and sell yourself, the technical part, um, sometimes you can outsource it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Mm.
No, because if you know how to speak, then you know how
Yeah.
to market yourself well. You
Yes.
know how to represent yourself and what to say, for people to, and then as people we judge, man. Sometimes we say we're not judgmental, but as people, the first time you meet someone, even in the workplace, it's like, okay, you listen to what they say, how they carry themselves and stuff like that. You judge them.
Yeah.
There's no way of like, no, we see by your work. No, I don't know you. I just came here now,
Yeah.
five
And I
minutes.
already have an opinion.
You
Yes.
see?
Mm. And the moment you have an opinion, that's judgment. You've already judged. What do you can't have an opinion without making a judgment. It
No.
means you judged. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm. Yeah.